Next was our water. That's concerned about the condition of it. I know since I've lived here since '78, my son, the moment I knew he was on his way, I really stopped drinking the water. Never drink the water.
I see that we're trying to talk about issues that, not to say they're not issues, but the real issue was brought up earlier, and I feel like it's an elephant in the room. Our own mayor admitted he doesn't drink the water, and I don't know how that's not front page material in the newspaper in the local area.
California tap water, most toxic in the nation. When I was growing up, I traveled down to Mexico about a half dozen times, and every time I went there, I was told by numerous people to never, ever drink the water in Mexico because you will get really sick. One family member of mine once went down there and accidentally swallowed a little of the water and got violently ill for about 2 weeks. I would always come home from those trips being grateful that we lived in such a great country that we didn't have to worry about things as simple as clean water. Well, those days are long over. I can attest to what is in this article. I have had to experience awful water in my adulthood. My shower used to smell like chlorine until I showed it to the landlord and they actually fixed it. Not sure what else they're still putting in that water, but the water has gotten better. This is just like everything else. Our infrastructure is rotting, the roads are bad, bridges are collapsing, sinkholes are forming everywhere, the water is bad, water pipes are constantly breaking, and these things have happened because we stopped having an America First policy. We went to nation building, having lots of wars, and we have flushed all of our wealth and money down the toilet, and it's shameful. America is becoming a third world country, and this is yet another example of it. A new study out of Harvard University has some really bad news for you if you live in California, New Jersey, North Carolina, or one of a handful of other American states. The water coming out of your tap may be contaminated with life-threatening concentrations of noxious chemicals used in pipe insulation, firefighting solutions, stain-proofing formulas, and various other commercial and industrial products, and that's because America is the dumping ground for the entire world. Also included in the mix are Alabama, Florida, Pennsylvania, Ohio, New York, Georgia, Minnesota, Arizona, Massachusetts, and Illinois, and likely many other states as well, since the study wasn't able to tabulate figures for roughly 1/3 of the country, states occupied by approximately 100 million people. And you know what? This is not just a California thing. It's not just a New Jersey or North Carolina thing. The water throughout the entire country is pretty much bad unless you live in a really rural area, and that's just an exception. I think nationwide we are all dealing with this problem. According to tests conducted at water sites throughout the country, many larger scale water systems are deeply contaminated with polyfluoroalkyl and perfluoroalkyl substances, toxins collectively known as PFAs. PFAs have been used for more than 60 years in both industrial and commercial applications in things like food wrappers, pots and pans, and firefighting foam, and very little was known about where they went after their use. And the way I interpret this is there has been a deliberate dumping of GMOs basically into our water for decades, and these are the consequences. And since these chemicals have been definitively linked to hormone disruption, high cholesterol, obesity, and even cancer, unknown levels of them have been passing through inadequate wastewater treatment systems and onto people's tap water. It's becoming clear that we have a major public health crisis on our hands. Yes, we do. And for those of us who are informed, we've known for a long time that what's in the water and in the food is causing all the illnesses, is causing people to go crazy, is causing obesity, is causing the feminization of men, it's causing all of these problems, and we have to ask ourselves, who benefits? Well, there's several entities that benefit, but I would say number one beneficiary of this are the pharmaceutical companies, because every time people get sick, they make money, they get to sell their drugs, and if you have a nation full of sick people, then that means you need pharmaceutical advertising everywhere you look, and that is something that we have. This is just another scam on the American people to screw us and to take money out of our pockets. Believe it or not, many industrial sites are known to recycle their sludge wastewater and use it as fertilizer on factory farms. Some of it also ends up being dumped into sewer systems, which to this day are still unable to properly filter out PFAs before sending them into the ground, or in the case of toilet to tap water systems, send them directly back into people's homes. Oh, you know what? This is just freaking disgusting. It blows my mind that as a nation, we have put up with this much and we have still not risen up yet. I mean, I don't know what it will take or if it'll ever even happen to begin with, but the worst part about all of this to me is if you do live in California, you are being forced to pay more to use less water, and the water sucks.